All right, welcome everybody. We are back. We are finally back on schedule. Uh, it's been kind of a crazy month with Hillary traveling and me traveling and trying to get our days right. And so now we are finally back on Sunday, and it happens to be a holiday, which probably doesn't help with getting a bunch of people on here. But what are you going to do?
Yes, we are back. We've been trying to soak up the last bit of summer, and I've gone on a ton of hikes recently, and Will was also in the park. He's in Canada, so we've been, busy, but I think we got all of the fun stuff out of the way in the nick of time because it is very smoky again here.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. But why don't you talk about? So, Hillary just did. So, in Glacier Park, you can go obviously hiking wherever, whenever you want. But camping, if you go like hike way back in the backcountry, you have to get a special permit and you have to do it like back in the spring. So, Hillary did that. And so we ended up both being gone at the same time because obviously back whenever she got the pass, we didn't know we were leaving too, but anyway, that wasn't a big deal. But why don't you tell everyone and show the pictures of your cool hike?
Yeah, so we always, it's a lottery system to get backcountry camping permits. And so every year there's a specific date that you have to fill everything out, and you tell them where you'd like to camp, and you give them kind of a range of dates that you're hoping to get. And then like a few months later, you get an email and it tells you what you got, where you're camping, you've got your itinerary, and you can't change the dates. So we actually camped at, we cut our trip a little bit short because just because of work stuff. So we were supposed to be gone Tuesday and Wednesday night, and we ended up just going on Wednesday night. And we were supposed to start in the Belly, which is really like right on the Canada border, I guess. But we ended up switching and hiking through Ptarmigan Tunnel. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but it is beautiful. So you hike, I realize you can't see my pointer, so it's hard to explain. But here are just a few of the beautiful photos. That is the lake that we camped at. So we hiked over
Is
this
that
mountain.
is that when you is that right when you come out of the tunnel?
Yep. And so we hiked up and then through the tunnel and then looked down at our campsite. And then we had to climb all the way down, which is a pain. This is kind of the edge along the tunnel. Here's another view on our hike down, another view. And then we were camping at the head of the lake and not the foot. So, of course, we got to the foot first and then had to walk like across the whole lake to get to the head, but it was really pretty. We were actually the only people at our campground. That's never happened to me before. You're usually with a lot of other people, and then you all share the food prep area because you obviously can't keep food where you sleep. So it was only the two of us there, and then the next day we came out the same way we went in. So we hiked back up over that mountain there and through the tunnel and then back out. But it was
So is
really,
that picture right there looking back at where the tunnel is?
yeah. Oh no, this is just, oh yeah. I mean, the tunnel's kind of to the left of that photo, I think.
Oh,
I don't know if you can, yeah, I don't think you can see it in these, but it's really pretty. Highly recommend hiking Ptarmigan Tunnel. There were a lot of people on the trail. I think it must be a popular one. But then once you get past that and start going down further into the backcountry, it gets a lot quieter. So it was awesome. It was
and
great.
didn't you say it's like 11 miles one way to this point?
Yeah, it was a little over 11 and a half to get to our campsite. So, we backpacked in with all our stuff and then went to bed and hiked out the next day.
How long did it take?
It didn't take us too long. We didn't show up there until we probably didn't start hiking until like 2, and then we were at our campsite at about 7 p.m. But it stays light so late, so that wasn't an issue. And it actually poured down rain all night, which was wonderful. I love it when it rains when you're sleeping in a tent. And then it stopped. And so we
You're the
never
weather
had to
person.
deal with the rain. So yeah, it was really beautiful. I took like 5 million pictures. We also did a big hike a couple days before this. We took Gunsight Pass to Sperry Chalet and then back down to Lake McDonald, and that was also just so gorgeous. So I take a picture like every 5 steps, and then I get home and I have to look through them all, and they all look the same, but they're all pretty, so I don't want to delete any of them, and it's a real process.
Well, there you go. So yeah, we wanted to cover that before we get going. Also, we had now to put everyone to sleep, we had a lady come into our office last week that talked about taxes in Montana, and it was kind of interesting because nobody really knew how they work, and so I have something what she gave us, but basically the way they do taxes here in Montana, property taxes, and the reason I bring this up is I've had a lot of people ask questions about this, and I thought I knew everything, but I was not even close when she came in. But they do them every 2 years on an on an odd year, so they're doing it next year. They'll reassess everybody, and they go back to the value from January 1st of 2020, and then that's how they base the value of your property. Then the thing that everyone gets confused about, I'll go to this chart over here. So this one, yeah, actually go back. So basically, this is so they'll do the new value of your house in 2023, and that'll be the value also in 2024. So your taxes will be the same for 2 years, and then in 2025 they'll do it again. So our tax rate in Montana is 0.13%. And so then like they're showing here, if you have a appraised value of 325,000 and you take it times 0.0135, then your taxable value is that. And then you add the mill levies, which are what they charge for schools. Well, not only schools, but she said 80% of the taxes go towards the schools. So if you're irritated with whatever you're paying in the different towns, it shows you the schools. So then basically the ad valorem is what you owe. There may be any special fees added on top of that, again depending on where you live, like if they're putting in new streetlights or if new sidewalks, whatever, then there may be a little bit on top of that. So then she showed us, here's where the different cities in our valley come in. So basically, if you value all the properties at $500,000, then she goes through all the numbers, and this shows you the difference, which I was kind of surprised the Whitefish is the cheapest. But I think she was saying because we have a 3% resort tax here, that some of that goes to offset the property taxes. So anyway, somebody called and asked me last week or a couple weeks ago about this, and he was like, well, if my son buys a piece of property or bought a piece of property right before our market went crazy, are his taxes going to double? Well, I mean, technically, if they don't change any of this, then yes. But what she was saying is that the cities come up with a budget, and they need whatever $1 million to run the city. What obviously just making that number up. Then they figure out, all right, this is what we have to tax everyone. So technically, yes, your taxes are probably going to go up just because there's now more people here and they're adding more police and whatever they're adding, but they're probably not going to double because then the city would have all kinds of extra money. But anyway, that's the theory. The other thing is you can here in Montana, you can dispute your tax um, if you think they got it wrong somehow. You can go in and dispute it. One of the other interesting things they were talking about, she was talking about, is that if build a new shop or add on to your house or whatever, they'll look at uh, building permits. They also look at satellite photos, so you're probably not hiding anything. I mean, unless they don't go in your house, they're allowed to go out and survey the property. And they do that after every sale, which I didn't realize either. So if your house sells or the house you bought, um, then they see, all right, it's sold, you just paid 500,000 for this house. Then they send a guy out there to kind of look at everything because they're trying to keep the appraisals for all the other ones in the neighborhood right, and keep it, the values correct so they don't get a whole bunch of people uh, questioning or protesting their taxes. So anyway, I don't want to bore you guys to death, but that's what we learned. I thought it was interesting. This is a whole, 14 pages. If anybody wants a copy, go ahead and email us. And let me put that banner up.
I already did it.
Oh, there you go. And we can send you that. We can send that to you, that PDF, if you'd like it. If you need some good reading material or you need a sleep aid.
It was actually very interesting, and that document has a lot of information in it. So if you're curious at all, definitely email us and we'll send it over. It's easy to read and helpful.
All right. Well, let's start going through the questions and comments.
Remington, my wife and I are leaving today to vacation in Glacier, 12-hour car ride, and check out the whitefish area, potentially thinking of moving in June. Keep up the great work. That sounds awesome. What do you
Stop
guys?
in and say hello if you're in town.
Yeah, definitely do. I don't know what your plans are in Glacier, but I would love to hear what you're doing. So send us an email, and if you guys have some free time, swing by our office if you're out and about in downtown Whitefish. Tristan, good day, fellas. Hail from Australia. Loving these videos and want to join the Northern Outback. Just waiting for the wife to agree. Are the interest rates affecting you guys much?
Do you want
Well, I was just going to say it's affecting buyers, definitely. And it's helped calm down sort of the buyer frenzy because it's changed, obviously, what people are able to afford. We have clients that we've been working with for quite a while trying to find a house. And with the interest rates up, it's like they're in a whole different price bracket. So that's unfortunate, but
it has slowed down the number of sales too a little bit.
Yeah.
Things that are, the people that aren't trying to win the lottery with their prices, those houses and properties are still selling. But what we see a lot of is people think, oh, well, my neighbor got $1 million for his house last year, so mine's worth $1 million too. But it's not last year anymore, and it's partly because of the interest rates and because we're slowing down a little bit with sales, and there's been more listings this year than there were last year. So
yes,
there you go. Then it looks like our friend Dwayne is back.
Hey, Dwayne. Greetings from Edmonton, Alberta. It's hot and also smoky because of the wildfires in Jasper National Park. I don't even know where our smoke is coming from. It's really weird. So as you just saw, we were on our hike on Tuesday and then we hiked out, or on Wednesday, and then we hiked out on Thursday. And even for our hike on Thursday, I think we finished up at like 4, but that whole way it was fine. There was a little bit of smoke, but it wasn't anything crazy. And then we ended up instead of, since we started in Many Glacier, we would usually drive through Browning, but there was a car accident, so we had to go back through the park, and we took going to the Sun Road all the way out back to West Glacier, and it got so smoky. I mean, we couldn't see anything. It was bizarre. So we like just missed it for our hike and were able to enjoy the views. And then literally on the drive home, it was like completely covered.
Yeah, I think obviously the wind shifted, but I read that we're getting all our smoke from Idaho, and there's actually a couple fires burning down near Marion.
Yeah.
So for our valley, that's what we're getting. But like we said earlier, I was up in Canada. I was in Banff and in Calgary, and it was beautiful. And then the day we left, which was, I guess, yesterday, we woke up and the sun was just this, you can, through the smoke, it was so hazy. It's just this orange ball that was not bright. You just looked like, yeah, it was weird. And then all the way home, it was just haze and nasty and not good. So
not good.
hopefully we're at the time of year. Luckily, we're pretty late in the year for this smoke to roll in. Usually it happens earlier. So the good news is it shouldn't be around very long. It seems a lot better today.
It does. Yesterday we went outside and it like smelled like fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all those fires around us started from a lightning storm. I guess it must have been the night you were saying it rained. We weren't here, but it said it was September 1st. There was a bunch of lightning, and it started all those fires around Marion.
Huh.
So
sad. Lola, hello again. You're always here. Can any veteran get a house tax credit or just the disabled?
I'm pretty sure it's any veteran, but you'll have to check into that. I don't know that answer for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's any veteran can get that credit. So I will look that up and do a little research on that, but I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's any veteran. So
if you want to email us, that'll just remind us to respond after we do more research and give you a final answer. Love your videos and definitely want a place in Montana one day. Glacier Park is beautiful. It is, and you should move here. Astronaut Kid is a Texas kid thinking of moving to Great Falls. You should do it. And then we sort of touched on this, but the question is, has the market dipped down past your expectations, and will it be getting worse? Another 2008.
We answer this. The reason I'm laughing is because we get this, and let's see if Hillary is memorized by spiel. I'll let Hillary say what I always say.
Okay, no, I haven't memorized your spiel because it's like 30 minutes long.
Well,
but
it's not that long.
No, we've seen the market. I mean, it's dipped a little bit. It's still a seller's market, but like Will just said, we're seeing price reductions, but it's because sellers are still listing at these sky high prices. And so then the prices are coming down, but it's not like a big price reduction. It's just where they should have been priced in the first place. We don't think that it will be another 2008. Hopefully it'll continue to normalize. Will do your thing.
It was 2000. The reason it won't be 2008 is that was a totally different bubble. They were giving out loans to anybody that had a pulse, and that was the problem. And then all of a sudden the rates went up a little bit and people couldn't afford, their houses. And all of a sudden everyone went into foreclosure and all of that. Right now, this is all, in our area anyway. I'm sure there's other areas in the country where it will drop quite a bit worse or more than us, but everybody still wants to live up here. And, the foreclosure or the amount of, I saw a stat the other day, I should have pulled it up, but the amount of people that are behind on their mortgages is nothing above normal. And that, when 2008 was everybody, couldn't make their mortgage payment and got behind and the bank foreclosed on everything. Well, we're not in that position. A lot of people paid cash. The other thing too is because our values have gone up so much in the past couple of years that even if you lost your job and had no more income coming in, you could sell your house and get out from underneath it and, probably make some money. Back in 2008, the values went way down, and then people owed like $400,000, but their house was only worth 250, and so even if they sold it, they'd have to write a check for the difference. We're not in that position right now. It's just, you know, the story, the economy, the interest rates, but I don't think there's going to be a crash here. It'll be more of a plateau until everything settles down, and then we'll go back to normal. And that's the end of my spiel.
Dwayne wants to know, do you still have to pay the school tax if you don't have any kids? Yes.
Yes, you do. I don't know what it's like in Canada, but yeah, if you own a house in Whitefish or in Kalispell, then those are just added to the property taxes, whether you have kids or not. And that's always kind of the battle when they try and pass bonds or to try and raise money for schools. They're going up against all the people that don't have kids because, of course, they don't want their taxes to go up. So that's life in the U.S., Dwayne. It's a little different than Canada, I'm guessing.
What does it mean when a house is being sold as is? Does that term just mean that they don't really know the condition, but will still negotiate once inspections have been done? Thanks.
Usually that means that they won't negotiate, that even if you find something, they're like, yeah, that we're selling it as is. That, I think a lot of people think it's protecting them from lawsuits or whatever, but it isn't. If like if you're selling your house and you know that there's a huge, crack in the foundation that you can't see, or mold somewhere that you can't see, whatever, you have to disclose that. You can't just say, oh, selling it as is. But normally when people say it's as is, they've hopefully priced it already a little lower to take into consideration the problems that they're saying are being sold as is.
I feel like when we see as is on a listing, it's just, you just go into it knowing that there's going to be some problems, and they just don't want to deal with it. So yeah, I would say that usually that means no negotiation. Hello, Christine. Hello, Anita. Tristan wants to know if the fishing was good this season. I don't know because I don't fish, and neither does Will. So yeah. I'm sorry. I feel like it was pretty good.
It's looking like we're getting some more spam comments today. Why is that?
I know. I can't delete them.
I'm blocking them, but they just changed their.
Is homesteading still legal here?
The homesteading thing, yes. There are different rules for homesteading. I think what people have different ideas of what that is exactly, and I'm not sure, Anita, what you're thinking. But there are laws for homesteading when it comes to transferring your property and splitting your property and giving your property to your kids. But some people think it's, you can show up and set up in federal ground and call it your own, and that's not the case. So to say, is it still legal? I don't really know exactly what you're asking. So
we're to the bottom already. I know it's a holiday.
Dwayne, we also have to pay school tax even if we have no kids. Well, I guess then you're the same as us, Dwayne. So, wow, this is I guess we don't have many people on. It is a holiday weekend.
It's a holiday. Thank you, Dwayne. He reported the bots.
Yeah. Was there
Yeah.
anything else you'd like to throw in before we
Um,
cut it off at a half hour?
I don't think so. We'll be back to our regular scheduled programming. Oh, we've got another comment here. How's the weather up there right now? I'm melting in California. It is not too bad, honestly. I think that last Saturday, and I only remember this because it was the first Husker football game. And I am a Husker fan, sadly. But I just remember that was the first football game, and it like felt like fall and was super cool, and I just loved it. And it was like perfect timing for football to start. And then we've had some warm days sprinkled in. When we did our long hike, it was super warm and sunny, but it's not bad. It's been like upper 70s, I would say. So it's good.
Yeah, if anybody has any more comments or questions, fire away. Otherwise, we're going to shut her down here soon, and then we'll give you our regular spiel. If you want to look at properties, we can send you a link to our MLS. So just email us, as you can see down at the bottom, and we would be happy to do that. And Dwayne's saying it's also Labor Day in Canada. It always seems like you guys up in Canada are always like a week off from ours. So there's 2 holidays in a row since we're so close to the border. And Dwayne, a little sneak peek, my video that's coming out on Tuesday is going to be about your country. So I filmed a bunch of footage while we were up in Canada and showed the differences between here and Canada. And we enjoy going up there. It's a lot of fun. I did have a run-in with one of your local law officers when we were just outside of Banff. I may have been going faster than I was supposed to because I wasn't switched over to kilometers and wasn't paying attention. But I'll tell you what, they have the best unmarked cops up there that I've ever seen. That did not, I mean, I had no idea that I was passing a cop and until his dash lights and came on as I went around him.
Way to go.
Yeah. So.
We got another question that's real estate related. If a house is being sold as is, can you still get out of it if the inspections are bad? Thanks. Yes, we would still do an inspection contingency, so you have time to do your due diligence. Usually after you have an inspection done, though, you have time to sort of negotiate with the seller and either have them fix things that have come up or, reduce the selling price. But if it's being sold as is, you kind of just have to decide if you're okay with how the inspection went or if you want to back out.
Yeah, like Hillary said, we would never let someone buy a house without doing that contingency, even if they say it's as is, because you should have the right to see how bad it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
This is a question that I don't necessarily know the answer to, but what parts of Montana have or has good communities for retirees? I think that there are definitely communities in the Flathead Valley. I think they're probably all over. I don't know.
Yeah, Kalispell actually has quite a few over 55 communities, and then they have a big kind of retirement community they've just built up around the hospital. So yeah, Kalispell's very good, or the Flathead Valley. I'm sure Missoula, they've got 2 big hospitals as well. So yeah, and there's, if you like the outdoors, if you like hiking, if you like boating, fishing, we have all of that here. So I don't know how it wouldn't be good for retirees, but I am not one yet, so I can't answer that perfectly. And Hillary's even further away from that.
Yes. Alexa wants to know if the market's slowing down, we have kind of touched on this, and it is slowing down. It's not as crazy as it was last summer when you could just list your house for any price and expect to wake up to 15 offers. It's not slowing down a ton. If something's priced right, then it's still selling quickly. People are still buying, and it is starting to level out a little bit, but I don't think that it'll ever slow down to what it was before COVID, but it's starting to normalize, so that's good.
Yeah.
Tom wants to know if you have questions about houses that you like that you have seen on our MLS portal, definitely reach out to us. We can help get the answers for you and let you know. So yes, if you ever have questions about anything on MLS, or if you're interested in something, I mean, whatever it might be, tell us and we'll either get the information for you, or we'll do whatever we need to do. So yeah, just reach out and let us know what you need to know.
Lola asked, do you have to have the shot to get into Canada? I don't think so. They didn't ask us. My wife filled out, you have to have this app. Maybe Dwayne knows the answer to this, but we got right in. I think we're back to the way it used to be now. The app just asks where you're going to be and how long you're going to be there, I guess, so they can track you. I don't know. But yeah, they didn't, it was very quick getting through the border this time, and they didn't ask for any vaccine cards or anything like that. We just handed our passports and went in. So, Christine, how long will Glacier National Park be open? I just read that they are closing. The park itself is open all year, but they close going to the Sun Road is where you might be getting confused. And now they're doing construction on it. So they're closing the road right at Apgar. Right, like, I don't know if you're familiar with the park, but right when you come in the gate, you come to a T and you turn right you go around Lake McDonald and up going to the Sun Road. They're closing the road right there on October 1st because they're putting in a sewer line. They've been working on it at night all summer long, but now they're going to try and get it done before the snow flies. So they bought themselves an extra few weeks where they can work around the clock. But that doesn't mean you can't get into the park and use, this side of Lake McDonald. And I'm sure, I don't know the other way, like if you went on the St. Mary's side, when they close that off.
I think it's usually different every year, just depending on weather. It's closed at the end of September. Sometimes it'll be October. I think this year they have a set date because of the construction. But like Will said, I mean, the park is open year round, so you can go in and snowshoe, or, people ski. You can do whatever you want to do. But yeah, going to the Sun Road just closes, and that kind of varies depending on weather. But this year we've got a set date, and I don't know about the other entrances, but I would just count on them being closed if the other one is closed. What's the price for a gallon of gas?
You don't know the answer to that?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
You're like my wife and says that's a boy job to fill up the car. I can tell you exactly what it was the other day because I filled up and filmed it to compare here in Canada. It was $4.09, but it keeps dropping. I have not seen it under $4 yet, but we're getting closer, and they say that it's going to continue to drop, so that's good news.
There you go. Are there any big Labor Day celebrations in the Flathead Valley? I'm sure there are. I don't really know of any set celebration.
It's more just everybody goes out and does their camping and goes out on the lake, and kind of it's the end of summer.
Yeah, so just do what you do. We've had a lot of events, I feel like, recently, just for the Whitefish Trails and the Snow Bus. They have things going on. towards the end of summer. So we just had a lot of celebrations to attend. And then, yeah, this is just kind of last hurrah to do what you want to do, recreate, if you will. Did older home in East Kalispell sell? So this listing, I do believe it is under contract at this point. I know that the seller was getting a little bit overwhelmed with all of the showings, so they marked it as withdrawn to sort of give her a breather, but it was always for sale, and yes, it did go under contract.
Oh, did it?
I think so, yeah.
What did you guys all think of Hillary's starring role in that video? Leave your comments below.
No, please don't. Oh man, it's so awkward.
I should have done a behind the scenes video of the making of that video because it was hilarious watching her and Tracy between scenes.
Because Will gives you no time. He films you like an inch from your face, and then he'll just say something funny. And it's like, I mean, I don't know, Will. This is very awkward, but I try, you guys. Lola, again. I've noticed several houses around Airport Road for sale recently. Is there construction going on there or another reason that you know of?
There's nothing. They are building new. There's not a new subdivision per se over there, but they did build a bunch of condos and apartments, and there's a new elementary school down there. So that's kind of growing down at that end of town. But just this time of year, we normally get a lot of listings. So that's probably what you're seeing. Believe it or not, October is our biggest month for closings of the year. And it's because people kind of, they want to use their houses here all summer, and then they'll put them on the market right now. And then on the flip side, the people buying, they want to be done and moved in before the snow flies. So October is kind of the month to get that done. Because like I tell everybody, once we hit October 15th, it's kind of a crapshoot what the weather's going to be. It could be really nice for the rest of October, or it can be ugly. So that's what it is.
There you go.
There you go. Look at Lola. Thought you did awesome. So
thank you.
She doesn't want to be in any of the videos, so I'm trying to make her feel like she should.
He forces me. And it actually makes me feel bad because people have commented on the videos saying, like, could it be any more obvious that she doesn't want to be there? And that was for the video that we did on the off-grid property. And I told Will, he tells me to like say this stuff and be funny. So then I got nervous but then I feel like I just seem like cranky and people think I'm mean. So I don't know how to act. Just bear with me.
She is kind of mean.
I'm not. Are there lots one could purchase that you can purchase? I
don't know what do you mean? Yes, there are plenty of lots for sale. I don't know if that was a misprint or.
Yes, there are lots for sale, definitely. And if you would like to look at them, send us an email and we'll send you our MLS. Remington, definitely stop by. If you would, it might just be easier if you want to send an email also. I can send you my favorite restaurants and spots to hit in Whitefish. Will and I have varying opinions on them.
Speaking of restaurants, did you see that?
And also I would recommend Remington. Well, it might not be as busy, but if like you're going to be back from the park and want to go out to eat at a specific restaurant, you might want to make reservations like now. But it might not be as bad now that kids are back in school and all that. It just gets very busy in the summer.
Did you see that my favorite pizza place closed already?
It did?
It did. Yeah, I found that out on I have a Facebook group for whitefish that I run, and somebody posted it on there the other day that they closed already. They've only been open, like they just opened in the spring.
Are they gonna open in what? That's so sad. Oh
Oh,
man.
look at here we go. See, we got a couple of just be yourself, Hillary.
Thank you, Drew.
Um, just be you. People love real, but then so yes, trust me.
The only direction I get is be funny.
All right, we got a Hawaiian fan here.
Just wanted
Aloha.
to give an aloha shout out to you both. You're always so helpful with these videos and live streams. I'm glad they're helpful. Aloha.
And thanks for watching. And again, we're at the bottom. Oh, we got another one just rolled in. People are beating the. If you want to build a new home, how backed up are the contractors? They're still pretty backed up, just because we've had so many people in the last couple of years buy lots and want um, uh, houses built. And so I know the good ones are still over a year out. You may be able to find some people popping up now a little quicker, but yeah, the good ones are still backed up just because there were so many people that came in all at once and there's only so many builders. So that's where we are with contractors. And if you want, I can send a list of, we have a list of builders up here in this area if you're curious, or if anybody's curious, email us and we can send you that list as well.
Yeah, we actually have clients who just put a house under contract and they'd like to add a garage and use the same builders that built the house so it looks cohesive. And the builders told them just for a garage they would be like a year out, and they're not taking any new projects right now. So that's the most recent example I've heard of. And then there was somebody has asked us about this before. Are people excited about Black Rifle? It's a coffee company. Yeah. People in this live are excited about it because I've heard about it several times in here.
I've never had it. Have you?
I've not either. No. But I will try it for sure. John came back to us. Can you purchase empty lots where you can park a small RV? I'm thinking, and yes.
Yeah, again, it's going to come down to the covenants and where the lot is. But yes, there are lots up outside of town that you can do that. Quite a few people do that. So, and then we have, with lakefront property, do houses typically have basements? Curious about if the lake water level plays a role in whether or not you can have a basement. Well, first of all, they don't let you build that close to the lake where the water level would come into play. And yes, a lot of lake houses do have basements. So there you go.
There you go.
And we are back at the bottom again. So I guess we'll wrap it up 15 minutes early, but we will be back in 2 weeks. And thank you everybody for joining us. And again, if you have any more questions or want any of the information we talked about, shoot us an email. And with that, we will see everybody next week.
And have fun. Lola, email us.
Lola,
Let it go.
Let it go Lane. Yeah, that one. Send us an email and we can tell you all about that place.
The scoop. Thanks, guys. Have a happy Labor Day. Good day off tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see everybody in a couple weeks.
Bye.